Hello. How are we doing? Yeah, there's a lion now. I've got to get better at starting these. We've done two, and it's been a chaotic start both times because that's just how we roll around it. We don't know how to do things competently, so we do things incompetently. Ugh. How are we all doing this fine afternoon? Yeah. Termagant looks great. The lion looks great. The Terminators look amazing because they're Terminators, and so of course they do. Really, pretty solid. Pretty solid overall, I reckon. That their reveal. Pretty good. Although I don't understand. From what I understand, right, this is baffling to me. This is baffling, and I don't understand why they did this. From what I understand, they did it live, and then they recorded a second one. Like, they did it in front of the audience at Adepticon, and then they streamed it afterwards. They did two reveals. Mental. Why would you even do it? Mob Mikey, Hellstorm Wargaming, and their viewers, which is like they're all right. The viewers are okay, pretty decent, pretty decent. Snow, no small Terminator gang. I do not accept that. They're dead to me. The small Terminators, there's loads of them right there. I'm going to put them in the bin. I'm not even going to sell them. I'm going to put them in the... I'm not going to do that. Don't make me do that on camera because I won't do it. That was a lie. It was an absolute lie from the very start. I'm not going to put my Terminators in the bin. I love my Terminators, just not as much as the new Terminators. The new Terminators are better. They just are. They're just better in every single way. They've got more chunk, more girth. They're quality. I love them. I haven't looked at New Seraphon yet. So we're going to be streaming for about an hour and a half, and then I'm going to go and do the AOS reveals video. I'm going to go and do that. Thank you for the raid, Mikey. Love you. You know that already. Yeah, I'm gonna do that after this. Like, I was like 40k first, then we stream because we've got more of this absolute absolute nonsense to put together. Okay, so this is part. It's part, not all, it's part of one model. This is part of a Tarrasque, and that's what we're building. Because I want a Tarrasque. Do I need a Tarrasque? No. Do I want a Tarrasque? Yes. And in that respect, I do need it, because I want it. So that's one bit of it. I'm just trying to work out how do I... A good way to show scale. Oh, I haven't turned my speakers down. There we go, that's better. Good way to show scale. I mean, we're talking Terminators, so this is a very dusty conversion of Tarrasque the Red Wake, and as you can see, this is half of the model, and that's its leg, and that's Tarrasque the Red Wake. He's pretty chunky. He's got some girth, dare I say. The old Tarrasque. So Ginger Steve, the Tarrasque, is basically a giant... It's just a giant dinosaur. Pretty much. It's a D&D monster. It is a gigantic dinosaur that is CR30? I think it's the most difficult thing in the game, like the most powerful enemy you can face in D&D. I believe. That might be different now, actually. Either way, he's a big chunky lad. And ever since it showed up as part of the Archon Studio's Kickstarter for Dungeons and Lasers Encounters, I was like, well, clearly I need that. I need it. I absolutely need it. Except it's me. So I'm not just building that. I'm not just building it and leaving it because that's boring. What I'm actually going to do is make it into a horrific monster. I'm going to make it really, really awful. It's gonna have wings. I already know that. It's gonna have wings. It's gonna have tentacles. It's gonna be like kind of Cthulhu-esque, because everything in my D&D campaign eventually comes back to some sort of Lovecraftian nightmare. Just because that's just how I like to do things. At this point, almost everything I do for any hobby sort of comes back to some sort of Lovecraftian nightmare, if I'm being honest. But you got to do what you know. You've got to stick... If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I love making absolute, like, monstrous freaks. That is an empty sprue. Why was that in the box? Because I put it in there, that's why. Just throw that away. Yeah, man-made horrors beyond comprehension. Yeah, D&D meets Zinch, which is honestly most of my D&D stuff. I love it. I love making things where I can describe them to the party, and the party goes, no thank you, we don't want to deal with that. Can we deal with something else? And then the response is, no. That's what I like. That's what I like doing. So far no one's complained. So I'm assuming it's fine. It might not be, but no one's said it outright yet, so, you know, I'm just going to carry on. Just going to carry on and assume that it's okay. Slight warning, if you weren't here yesterday, every now and again, when I file this plastic, it's a bit softer. It's a bit softer than the GW plastic. It can produce horrific, like, screechy noises that set my teeth on edge. So I'm just warning you now, that might happen. Hello, Clesius. Hello, Rybo. How you doing? Hello, Sin. The mod has arrived. Just a related thing. Like, this is the current Mega Gargant I'm building. I know it's not a Mega Gargant, but this is the current Cosmic Horror Mega Gargant I'm building. So, like, this is the kind of thing I like. Just absolute freaks. Just complete nightmare freaks. This is going to be standing on a ruined tower, so it's the right height for Mega Gargant. Actually, it's going to end up being too tall. That's what's happened with the other 4. I think I've mentioned in a video, you know, at some point, I was gonna I'm gonna do an army showcase video for my Soulblight Gravelords and for my Mega Gargants. I might do that. I might do a live one. I might stream it. Get the camera set up so we can get a good view of them. But then that way, like I don't know, I feel like being able to answer questions about them actually in the video would be better. It would be it'd be cooler than just doing a video of it. I don't know, what do you... Maybe it's a bad idea. What do you reckon? While I've got you here. Oh, it feels so weird sometimes. It is, isn't it, Steve? It is actually a bit weird. It's like, it's not bad plastic. It doesn't feel cheap or like nasty or anything, but it just behaves. It behaves differently to anyone else's. I've not come across another plastic like this. It's not a problem though. I still like it. God knows I've got enough of it at this point. I've got 2 new dragons. Oh, that reminds me. I've got 2 new Archon dragons to assemble. I cannot wait for that. Once I've assembled these 2 dragons that I got as part of Encounters and part of the I think it was Encounters and part of the preview for Deus Lair. Once I got those 2 assembled, I will have every dragon they make but 1. And I'm not buying it. I'm refusing to buy it until I've completed all the others. I want to have all the others built before I buy the final one. There's a badass one that's got 3 heads. No, 5 heads. And it's incredible. I love it. All their dragons are amazing. Oh, hello, Seisman. Yeah, look. I've got quite the amount of Archon stuff at this point. I'm not going to get the box out or try and rotate the camera to the giganto stack of Dungeons and Lasers boxes over there, but suffice to say, I'm something of a connoisseur at this point. I like it. I like it a lot. A lot. Much to the ever-growing frustration of my wife, who keeps walking into my office and going, and where exactly are you planning to store that? Where exactly are you planning to put that? And I'm like, It will go somewhere, right? It'll fit. If I move other things out of the room, then I will absolutely be able to fit it in here. Oh, come on. There we go. Make a fantasy army entirely from D&D characters you get from Archon. I mean, it's 100% doable. I could absolutely do that. I mean, at this point, I've got enough dragons that I could run a Stormcast dragon army. Like, easily. I could easily do that. Admittedly, only one of them's painted, but, you know, if I painted the rest, which I will, which, you know, I'm getting round to. There's so many projects. So many projects. And it's mostly my fault, but that's not the point. There we go. Yeah, you know what, Steve? That's a really good description of the plastic. It's not as hard as you think, but it's not soft. It's like... if you've sort of grown up on GW stuff, and if you've like primarily been building GW kits, it's definitely like a bit of a different experience, but as I say, it's not bad, it's just different. And like a lot of this stuff, once you get used to it, it's just whatever. Yeah, the lion's back. He's back and he looks absolutely quality. And I'm not like disappointed, that's not the right word, but I don't know how I'm supposed to not start a Deathwing army now. I just don't know how I'm supposed to not do that. Like, you can't drop the Lion and new Terminators and expect me to not immediately go Deathwing. Like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do when put in that situation, you know? I mean, some would say focus on what you've already got and don't just buy a bunch of Terminators, but that's not an option. That isn't an option. I love Terminators. I've got loads of Terminators, and now I want more Terminators because the new Terminators look cooler than the old Terminators. The word Terminators has lost all meaning, but you get what I'm saying. It's just... yeah. Yeah, I want to know. I genuinely want to know. I want someone from the studio for GW to actually say whether they modelled the Lion on Tywin Lannister. I want to know that information because I feel like they must have done. Like, I know they'll have like concept art and they've got pictures of him and stuff, and it's not like he's a new character and they don't know what he looks like. Right? I know all of that. But they literally sculpted Charles Dance's face. That's what they did. That's what they did. they sculpted Charles Dance's face. And I'm okay with it. Charles Dance is quite the distinguished man. It works well. But it's totally just like... they must have had a picture of him as reference. They must have done. Something I haven't done yet is pull up the picture of the pictures of the 40k version and the pictures of the 30k version. I'm assuming that the armour is significantly different, but I didn't think to check that. Oh, this is an awkward place. There's like a little... okay, there we go. Right. This is going to be interesting, this. Tyrion Voltan. Gonna come out and announce my... what is that? Hang on a second. Oh, wow. Oh my god, Steve. See, you say that about Valrak, that he's happy they made Combat Patrol so there's a version 40k to be able to play. That's me. I'm happy about Combat Patrol, so there's a version I can play. There was a surprising number of complaints that the show model was painted green, as I assume as opposed to Legion black, Deathwing white. See, the armour was primarily black, it just had green accents, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, hang on. Magnus, I'm going to come out and announce my new OC Dark Angels company, the Lifewing. They're like the Deathwing, except they're nice. Christ. A directive from HQ has gone out not to base figures on real people. That's interesting. I mean, if they were aiming to not base it on real people and they still came out with Charles Dance, then... I mean, they've just got that... They've not done a good job, is what I'm saying. They've done a good job, because he looks incredible, but if they were trying to not make him look like Charles Dance, they've not done a good job, if that makes sense. Lion versus Angron Law, because there's no stakes there? Yeah, no, it's not going to make any difference to anything. You know, Chaos will probably get yeeted at that point, because he's got to win when he comes back. Primarchs can grow old over several thousands of years. Yeah, that's true. Next Primarch out is Bone of Mod Prime, sure. That'll work for me. Yeah, they definitely won't say whether they've... yeah, they won't say, Believer, whether they've modelled him on him or not. They definitely won't. Yeah, Border Patrol... You're right, Curtis. I'm so glad they didn't get rid of Border Patrol. I mean, it's relatively... Like, it's a new thing. It would have been really dumb for them to just sack it off. But then again... It's not like they don't have form for sacking off new stuff in order to, you know, usher in a new edition. It's not like they have never done that before, because they have, but I'm just glad they didn't do it this time. Okay, let's do a little test fit here. The instructions seem to be suggesting that this guy should have one more leg than he does. What is going on here? Have I put... What? Oh! The instructions are laid out in a weird way, and I've done the wrong thing in the wrong order. They did make that Cantonese look like Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, Russ has got to come back soon. Russ has got to come back soon. It feels like he should have come back about eight times at this stage. It's incredible how many important events he's managed to sleep through at this stage. Well, not sleep through, but like... Every time anything happens, it's like, oh, it's the wolf time. And then it's like, oh, cool, where is he? Oh, nowhere. Again. Wow. Awesome. What is he doing? Where does this go? Let's see it. Oh, that looks... Right. There's going to be some gap filling going on here, but that's fine. Look at the... It's ridiculous. Vulcan back would be nice. Hello, Scarlet. How you doing? Oh, Jesus. Okay. This is absurd. Did I put the wrong leg on earlier then? Did I put the wrong leg on yesterday? Because this is making it look like... This is so confusing to me, this. This is really throwing me. Because that then goes over there, but the instructions seem to imply that by the time I put this back leg on, I should have a leg down here. Now I've done that first, which wasn't intentional. What is happening? What is going on? I feel like I'm losing my mind. 24 and 18. That is what I just snipped off. I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, did I take... Oh god. I think I took off 24 and 18. No, I think I took off 9 and 14. I should have taken off 24 and 18. Jesus Christ. I don't know how much of a difference it makes to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm gonna get the bits it's actually saying. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I don't want to completely mess this up. Because I'll have to take it apart. No one wants to do that. No one wants any of that. I mean, you're not wrong, Steve. Yeah, the limited edition World Eaters Codex is extremely limited. I mean, so's the Imperial Guard one, to be honest. Super limited. Will Schrodingus and coined the term Schrodingus Primarch. Oh dear. Oh, that caused like actual psychic damage, that one. Okay. I don't know where that went. I'm sure I've said hello to you, Freya, but if I haven't, hello. Sorry. I'm getting confused and overwhelmed because I read the instructions wrong and I was about to put this together, I believe, in a way that would mean I couldn't actually put it together, but now I'm flustered. I don't want to wreck it. I don't want to ever have to buy another Tarrasque, so I feel like one Tarrasque is plenty. I don't see how it's ever going to come up more than once, so I don't want to mess up my one Tarrasque. I was trying to think what I could use this for in like 40k or Age of Sigmar or something, but I don't know what I would use it for. Nothing, probably. One thing about the line I found interesting is the fact that he's carrying the Emperor's shield, something big he wasn't particularly known to do himself. I wonder what happened to his lightning claw. It'd be nice if they explained it. I feel like sometimes they leave stuff like up in the air, but there is the occasional thing like that where it's like, it'd be nice to get a bit more info on that. That's 17, that's 18. Is that what I actually wanted to? Yes, that's what I did want to do. Okay. Right, we've nearly got the bits out that we were supposed to get out originally, so that's nice. That's progress. I could always get a second Tarrasque and they can fight two at once. Seems like it'd be a bit excessive, but well, that's on the floor now. But it's fine because I got the bit I wanted. That's the important bit. Is there something? Yeah, but it's just the size of it. Like I'm not entirely sure what it could count as. By the time I've finished putting this together, it's not going to fit in frame. I'm going to have to move the camera up just to show you what it looks like, which is awesome, but also, what would that be a stand-in for? Tyranid Hierophant? That's actually not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout. That's actually a really good idea. I mean, it doesn't look anything like a Tyranid anything, but you know, I feel like size-wise it'd be about the same. Definitely not very sci-fi though, this. Given it's literally a fantasy monster. This is a Tarrasque by Archon Studio Scorch. Could fit as a square-off, that's true. Again though, it's not going to have much in the way of like, well, any sort of science fiction stuff on it. It's going to be like a Cthulhu-esque freak, but then again, bit of narrative flavour. It's just some sort of horrific chaos beastie. Just happened to run it as a squiggoth, it's fine. I wasn't exactly thinking I'd show up to tournaments with it. Strength 3, toughness 3. I think it needs to be a bit higher than that, just a little bit. I think it's too big for a great Narlock. I'm really looking forward to actually like having it assembled so I can properly appreciate the scale of it, because that's going to make it easier to work out what I want to do to like modify it to look horrific. Because right now it's a bit hard to tell. Like on the box, it like shows you how big it is compared to an infantry model. But that kind of size comparison, it does work, but it's still like it's still not good compared to actually seeing it in front of your eyes. Like you can get a much better feel for it actually seeing it than just seeing like a comparison picture. That's why when I'm like trying to plan out kit bashes, it's super like it makes it so much easier if whatever company I'm using the kit from has got like a little here's how big it is next to a dude with a sword. Stick some carapace on it. Could do. So that is... there we go. You put this together without the instructions, Phil? Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not doing that. I did look at it and think, actually, this looks pretty simple, but I just don't want to deal with it. And honestly, clamps, probably a must. Like, there's gap filling that's going to have to be done on this, because, yeah, it's just not going to look good without it, but that's fine. I kind of assumed that would be the case. When you get to something this big, like when you get to models this size, especially, like, plastic and broken up the way this is broken up, which is, it's good, but like there's going to be gaps. There's going to be gaps, especially when it's stuff like the tail. The tail, it's just that it's in two halves. You just take two halves and stick it together, and that is a massive amount of like that's a massive amount of stuff to try and stick together at once, and it's never going to fit perfectly. It fit together super well, but it wasn't perfect. But then I didn't expect it to be perfect either, because look at the bloody size of it. Oh, thanks, Ketus. This is... what is this? Let me just check. Oh no, it's this entire playlist, like everything that's playing in the background, this is all stuff that I've written and recorded. No, written is probably a strong word. This is all stuff I've improvised and recorded, or faffed about with samples and recorded. Best way to avoid copyright is to just only use your own music or something. Even then, that's not the best way to avoid it, because some jerk off will come and hit you anyway, but you know. Yeah, Torrent Stride, I've printed 6 of them? Yeah, I've got 6 of the Bestiarum Lone Heroes printed now. Oh, it's going to be one of these, is it? It's going to be one of these? Which means it's going to be... right, you can go down like that. It's probably going to fall off. It's time we get out. The old faithful bit of super glue, because there are certain sections where it just needs to hold on for a second for the plastic glue to properly set, and it's not wanting to do that, and I'm impatient, so we're going the super glue route. So I've got it. Oh, wow, that's really not having it, is it? mind you... Okay, let's have a quick glance all round. Yeah, it's like... The pieces are fitting properly, but they're not interested in sticking, so... If in doubt... I do not recommend this, by the way, don't do this. Don't just use super glue. Clamp it, do it properly. Or just use super glue because it works. I'm a massive hypocrite when it comes to putting stuff together. So he's like, you should do this the proper way. I'm not going to do it the proper way. I'm going to do it the quick way. But you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Hello, IDC Kairos. I've been listening to a load of like... Oh, is it a bit loud? I'll turn it down. The one downside is that I've not gone through and actually equalised the volume on these tracks, so some of them are a little bit... Some of them get a bit loud. Or very, very quiet. I've not got around to that yet. They were all sort of recorded on various whims. I'm just sat there with the guitar and I'm like, actually I'm going to record this bit. This is working, I'm going to record it. And then, yeah. However many years later and I'm like, oh, I never actually properly like produced any of this. I just took it and made it a thing. Okay, now we need to do this bit. Now this is going to be interesting because there's loads of little horrible bits all over it. GW don't get to come for my music, it's mine. GW actually never hit me for like copyright or anything like that. It's never been GW, it's always been third party music companies. Because there are companies on YouTube that literally just go around claiming stuff that they don't own. And like you have to then say, hey, I own this, or hey, this is fair use, and then they get to decide whether you do or do not own it. And they leave it for like a month, and then finally concede after a month, oh no, it actually is yours. But in that month, they used to keep the advertising revenue. They don't do it, and they don't anymore, which is why it's not as much of a problem as it used to be. But it is still a problem. But Games Workshop have never actually hit me for anything. All of their pretty sure all of the music they use in their trailers and stuff is like royalty-free subscription service. Like you pay a monthly amount, you get access to a massive library of songs. At least I believe that's what they use, because those ones don't require attribution. Like you don't have to say where you got it from in the description or in the video or anything. And I can't see them crediting people that don't work for them for anything, including music. So that's, I'm guessing that's what they do. Oh, that's a bit better. Yeah, there's some bits that just don't quite fit fully, and you've got to really press it in there, but that's okay. Is there... Right on the edge there. Oh, that's not going to be helping, is it? Oh, I missed these bits. No. Oh, I've done the error. The terrible error. I thought I'd got all of it, but I don't have all of it. Don't use a hobby knife this way. Don't do it. It's stupid. Like, this track is going to be louder than the others, actually, because I did this later on. I did this a lot later on, when I was getting better at it. So, I'm assuming this is louder, so I'm going to turn it down a bit in advance. In fact, I can hear it through my headphones that I don't have on. So it must be loud. Oh, there we go. Oh, thank you, Liam. How you doing, man? Oh, this is so dodgy. Why am I doing it this way? I've got impatient. I'm doing the thing where I'm like, hack it to pieces. You're going to be covering it in liquid green stuff and bits anyway. Who cares? Just do it. Oh. Oh, it went right through me. It went right through me. Absolutely right through me, that. Oh, no, it's still doing it. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Sorry, gang. I'm sorry. Full noise. Absolutely dreadful. Okay, there we go. That. It mostly fits better, so that's fine. Oh. Hello, Dunra. Yeah, my attempt to, like, pretend to be not excited for the lion was, it didn't work, did it? It didn't work. I tried really hard to just be like, the only thing I care about is Terminators, but then it just fell apart immediately because as soon as I looked at him for the video, I was like, oh, that's so good. It's so good. This is the Tarrasque from Archon Studio, Suit Boy. It's a big, chunky lad that is taking quite the sticking together, really. But then, are you really surprised when it's
And stay Vard. Got my own stream coming out. Just wanted to show some love and say thank you.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. Depending on what time I finish, I may well drop by or send everyone over to you. Okay, just gotta really hold it. Gotta really, really hold it. Hold it down good. Real good. So it's something I'm planning to do with the streams when they become more regular and they're no longer just tests. Is I'm just flat out stealing from. I'm going to flat out steal from Liam because Liam is amazing, and if you don't already follow Liam, then you should. So Liam Dempsey on YouTube, you should go and follow him because he's fantastic. But I'm going to be stealing things that he does to make the stream better. So including things like super chats. As things start to ramp up, like a percentage of super chats will just be held back and donated to charity because that's a lovely idea and I really like it. And so I want to do that as well. Rewards for members and stuff, I'm looking at doing stuff with Discord and working out ways to kind of take stream, like maybe leaving streams for members, but like leaving the VODs for members, but just putting like little highlights together for the chapel itself. Channel itself. I can't talk. This is why I edit myself. This is why streaming is a thing I don't do all that much, but I'm trying to get into. If I can edit myself, I can cut out all the stupid things I say. But live, it's just there. It's just right there, innit? Everyone heard you be dumb, which, I mean, I say that's scary. It's not really, because I often leave my stupidity in my videos. So it's not like you just get to see how much worse it would be if it didn't get edited down. That's the thing with the streams. It's like, oh wow, you're a chaotic mess in your videos. I had no idea that it could get even worse. It's like, yeah, oh yeah, absolute train wreck. That's what makes it fun, right? Okay, do we reckon this is stuck now? Do we reckon it's stuck? I don't know that it's stuck. I'm going to let go, mainly because my hands are hurting. A speech modulator that just unscrambles your brain before you get the chance to scramble it. If that existed, it would make things so much easier. Yeah, Lenora, that's what I'm really excited about for Tyrion, is actually that little trailer that they put out, the 4-minute one, that's like the sort of 10th edition trailer, like they did for Indomitus. That looked great, because there were so many things in there that was like, oh, we already have that. Oh, no, wait. No, we don't. We don't actually already have that. There's changes there. There's new stuff happening. That's really excited. That's really exciting, and I really want to see what they do for the rest of the Tyranid stuff. Okay, there we go. So we've got legs on either side. I love this thing. This is incredible. It's ridiculous. It's going to get so much worse. Like, well, I say worse. It's going to get so much more horrific when I start adding gribbly bits to it and making it a freak of nature. Oh, even more of a freak of nature. Yeah, like the old school Screamer Killer. And no one, I swear, like, I say no one. I didn't see anyone talking about that Redemptor. Didn't see anyone talking about the Redemptor that's got the classic loadout, the twin las cannons and the missile launcher. No one was talking about it, and I was like, but it's a Redemptor with the classic loadout. Like, that's quality. Where's the love for that? I mean, admittedly, it kind of pales a little bit. You've got a trailer with new Terminators in and stuff. And what looked like a Tyrannic War veteran, but Primaris. So I can kind of see why it slipped under the radar. But the number of people who were like, oh, I saw the las cannon, I saw the missile launcher, I didn't even twig that it was a Redemptor. I just saw, classic box nort. But that's why I love it, because the only thing I didn't like about the Redemptor when it first showed up was the lack of options. You only got two options, and you only had the option of ranged and melee. And I really like having like a dedicated build, like all gun or all fist, so to speak, and that wasn't an option. And now we've got the Brutalis one, we've got what looks like, on the way at least, that doesn't go there, does it? What does it? No, that doesn't go there. Oh, does that go there? It does go there. Ooh, no, okay, nice. That doesn't go on there yet. But yeah, I can see why people didn't twig that it was a Redemptor, but I just got super excited about it. I was like, oh, we're finally getting it. We're getting all the options. You can go fully ranged, you can go close combat, you can have a mix. We're actually getting all of it. And that's what I wanted from the Redemptor. To be honest, the Redemptor wasn't even like my absolute favourite when it first showed up. It took me a bit of tinkering with it to get it how I really like it, but I love a Redemptor now. Absolutely love a Redemptor. I mean, I own 4? Yeah, I do! I own 4 right now, having sold my Dreadnought army that had 6 in it. So, like, clearly I like a Redemptor or 2. So them just showing off like a classic option, the classic. Oh yeah, inject it directly into my veins. Give it to me. No, really, GW, do feel free to. No, they're not gonna. There's no chance. Okay, that bit looks all right. This is the real mess here, though. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, Gravis Apothecary is massive. Love that. That was really cool. More combi. Oh yeah, they did have combi weapons, didn't they? Yeah, that's a good point. Tyrannic War Dread with classic loadout. Oh, that's awesome. Hello, I'm going to mispronounce your name. Mericunning Minis? I did Deathwing. It's going to happen. It's just going to. I know it's going to happen. I don't necessarily want it to, or at least I do want it to. On a hobby and fun level, I want Deathwing to be a thing for me. I would love that for me. On a wallet level, I don't want anything to do with it. Because I'm not going to repurpose any of my old Terminators. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to buy new ones. I'm just going to buy loads of new Terminators. And they're going to be like 40 quid a box. And it's going to be awful. And I'm going to do it anyway. The upside is if we're like streaming regularly for that, well then, we can stream putting boxes and boxes of Terminators together. Maybe make a challenge out of it. Don't stop streaming until all of the Terminators have been assembled. Although that feels like I'm setting myself up for a severely not ideal time of it. But, you know, maybe not. Okay. Oh, no. I'm pretty sure I just inhaled plastic dust, but it's fine. Let's have a quick drink of water. Oh, Tower is so tempting. They're so tempting. The new Far Sight is insane. I love it, and I want it. I want it badly. Freya, I'll take anything that makes it look like the Space Marines are getting the stuffing kicked out of them. They win everything. They win Eventually, they always win. Eventually, they always win. Let them get smashed around a bit. Also, I really did like how dire they made the situation sound, and how like tired and not good Gilliman sounded. Like Gilliman sounded rough. He sounded tired and like everything was going wrong, and you know, like the existence of the Imperium was under threat, and there's all these people saying, oh, we've won, and he's sitting there like, no, we haven't. We are up the creek with not a paddle in sight. I really liked that. It was nice having like an in-universe nod, like an in-universe nod to the propaganda, and like having an established character, a Primarch even, sound like angry and frustrated with said propaganda. It's like the preachers are saying this with the tone of voice that says, and the preachers are idiots and they're wrong, and then just reinforcing that they're wrong, like really hammering home that it's bad. I loved that. I thought that was really nicely done. Oh god. I've got nothing else on my desk pretty much apart from like 2 models that I need to repair, and I'm still running out of space. Like I'm actually running out of space. It's so ridiculous. I was trying to work out the other day if there's anything else that I've built that's as big as this, and I don't think there is. I've built plenty of big kits and annoying kits and Forge World kits and whatever, but like this is definitely the biggest single model I've built. And really I should be employing clamps and I should be doing it more sensibly than I am, but none of that is as interesting on a stream, just getting it all together and then sitting there with a clamp. I want to be hands-on with this thing. I want to crush it into submission until it sticks together the way I want it to. Honestly, Gilliman's I don't want to be here anymore, this place sucks attitude is... I love it. Every time I hear him talk about stuff, or every time he's like talking about the Imperium, he's so done with it. He just hates it. He hates the establishment. He hates the way it's gone. He hates all the religious stuff. He hates how the Emperor is treated. You know, all the way down, like deep down, he's like, ah, shit. Lorgar was actually right, wasn't he? Like, he doesn't want to think that. Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't want to think Lorgar was right. But he knows that he is. And that's gutting. That's crushing. That's depressing. That is grim and it's dark, and that's how it should be. Oh, this one's extra awful. This piece. Okay. How are we doing there? Not great. You'd need like 18 rubber bands to do this. Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. How is that relationship going to work? Is the lion going to come back and be like, what the hell is all of this? What did you do, you useless idiot? Like, how have you let this happen? Like, if the lion came back and just blamed him, just blamed Guilliman for all that's gone wrong, it would be crushing, but it would also be awesome. It would be great. Alright, you're getting super glued because that gap is horrific. The gap is horrific and you need to be put in your place. Like that. Oh, it's already going. There we go. Because that would be, it would be so harsh. It would be so harsh, but it would be so good. Because it's not Guilliman's fault. Like, he got back and everything was just an absolute mess. It was just horrific. Like, he got back and it had already gone so badly in every way, and it's not his fault. But I feel like it would be on brand. It would be on brand for the lion to return and look at everything and go, okay, well, who's the most important person here? Oh, it's you. It's you. Therefore, this is your fault. I feel like that would fit his character pretty damn well. And it would be really harsh, but it would also be very 40k. That's the thing, yeah. It's like Guilliman's trying his best. He's doing his best. He's doing his best in a bad situation. And, you know, it's not going well for him, but it's not like he's actually given up. He just sounds like he wants to. Maybe it's just like ultimate karma for making Dante the, like, Lord Regent of Imperium Nihilus. Dante, who just wants to die. Ooh. Now we're good. Does that break anything? No. Oh, that's a horrible gap. Ugh. It did break something. That came loose a bit. Alright. No, you're being impatient and just using super glue instead of plastic glue, when actually plastic glue would be better. I don't think I can even get that to... There we go. It's fine. Yeah, he's so not drinking the Kool-Aid. The loin. Ugh. Loin L. Johnson is not a character I want to meet. Just sounds wrong. Bad and wrong. Yeah, the Dark Imperium trilogy I thought was actually really good. We got to see a Primarch be actually really quite human. We got to see a Primarch like just fully feel anger and despair and loneliness, and like this is effectively like a demigod warrior. Someone who's been like genetically altered to be faster, stronger, more intelligent, more capable, more survivable. Like this is a dude who literally with his bare hand during the heresy punched someone through their Terminator armor and ripped their heart out, having survived in the vacuum of space. Like, this is not like just a space marine even. This is someone who showed up during Calth being in... No, it was during Macragge being invaded, wasn't it? When he was brought back. And immediately taking charge of the battle and just fixing everything. He was just too good. He was just outmaneuvering literally every enemy because he's just that capable. And then he gets back, like he's brought back to life, he takes a look at the Imperium, takes a look at what's going on religion-wise and science-wise and belief-wise, and immediately feels anger, despair, loneliness, hopelessness. He just collapses under the weight of it. That's quality. That's great storytelling. Because at the end of the day, some part of him still needed to be human. Or at least like have human elements. And then he just felt like what every other person feels like when everything's gone horribly wrong and everything sucks and nothing's going your way. It's quite a big thing to do, honestly. Because it doesn't match the propaganda at all. Like, that's not what Primarchs are supposed to be. And the way they're described, like, in universe, and the way they were described in a lot of the books, there's still, like, this kind of superhuman mystique to them. Except for in that series of books, where it's like, oh, hey, turns out they're just as susceptible to everything being awful as everyone else. Perhaps more so in some ways. Because no matter what happens, Primarchs have got to be in charge. Even if you've been brought out of stasis, you are currently in a time that is completely unfamiliar to you. From what you understand, every one of your brothers who would or could help you is either dead or missing. The only people around you are literal strangers who are wearing the armour of your legion, but you don't recognise any of them, or you recognise like 2 or something. That sucks. Like, that just 100% sucks. And they could have very easily just having be like, yeah, well, I'm a Primarch and I'm just going to carry on as normal because duty, etc, etc. But no, he had a mental breakdown, which is way cooler. Hello to Gitman. I've just rambled for how long on that subject? Sorry. Yeah, exactly, Stephen. Gilman's brain is better capable of holding everything that's going wrong in focus at the same time. Oh, it just makes it worse, doesn't it? It's like, oh, wow. You literally can't turn off. You can't turn off how awful things are because your brain is too good. It's too powerful. Your brain is too strong to ignore how utterly terrible everything is. Quality. Quality. Good morning, Dwight. Oh, Lord, ow. Okay, that one... See, that one was fine. That one went on okay. We're good. Are we getting to the stage where we might stand up yet? No, not yet. We need... I mean, that's a bit of an ask. He obviously needs another leg, doesn't he? 22 and 17. Hey, we're down to like the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts. Down to the last 8 parts. We might have this done today. That'd be nice. This is... Oh my god. I've got no space on the desk. There's nothing else on it. What am I supposed to do? Okay. Yeah. So the plan for this lad is, once he's assembled, we're going to be like Cthulhuing him up with a pair of wings. They're going to be small. I don't want them big enough that he could actually fly, like vestigial wings. We're going to be getting a few weapons to stick in him as though he's been rampaging through stuff and nothing can stop him. We're probably going to get a bit of green stuff on the go. Make some horrible tentacles. Yeah, he's a chunky boy. He is a chunky lad. There we go. I'm getting excited about this being like completed now. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be good. It's gonna take literally forever to paint. Well, mind you, I could just dry brush it. I dry brush literally everything else, so they are going to be dragon wings, but they're going to be like torn dragon wings. I've got a choice, right? I can either use Terrorgeist wings, or I can use the wings of Thul the Defiler. Which can I get to him? I think I can. Yeah, I can. Okay. There we go. So that's Thul the Defiler. And those are the wings. I feel like those wings, I like those wings a lot. Those seem like good wings. Oh no, I never sealed the base. I never sealed the base. I never sealed it. I've just tipped basing material over them. Okay, that's my bad. That's my bad. I never sealed that, so now there's basing material all over the mat. Luckily, hang on a second. Hang on. I'm going to mute the mic for a second because I've got a little hoover here, so... There we go, sorted. If you haven't got one of those little tiny little hobby desk hoovers, one of these things, it was like 10 quid off Amazon. Honestly, one of the best hobby purchases I've ever made. It's great. It's so good. Like, oh, I've just spilt a load of crap all over the desk, or it's covered in plastic dust, or there's just little bits of basing material everywhere. 15 seconds later, nothing. You don't have to go out and get the big hoover. You don't have to try and sweep it all onto the floor and then get it. You don't need to try and sweep it into a bit of tea towel or something. It's great. 10 out of 10 would recommend every single time. There we go. Just don't put it over like drinks or anything. Yeah, it's just literally a little mini vacuum. Let me see if I can find a link. I love them. I love it. Although now all I can find is like big handheld ones, which is weird. Maybe I'm searching for the wrong thing. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, £10.88. Mini portable desktop vacuum. Some would argue there's laziness there, that you should go and actually, you know, properly clean up. But why like, you don't need to. You don't need to do it if you've got one of there. Just remember to empty it occasionally, because otherwise you end up with like horrible rattling noises and it doesn't actually suck anything up because it's full, which I have done a couple of times. They're not like, they don't have like massive capacity, but if after you've done a bunch of hobbying, you run it over your desk and then you go and empty it, it's like, it just cuts down on mess and clutter so much. Because before, I had a really bad habit, right? I would just let it all accumulate, shove it off to one side, or stick it all in like a Tupperware or something, and then I would never throw it away. And dust and stuff would just accumulate all over the desk, and then it would be time to clean it, and I'd end up just sweeping it all off, and then the carpet would be horrendous, and yeah, it's just... You may have better self-control than me, and as such, it's not really worth it. But for someone like me, who immediately forgets how much of a mess they've made when they've finished building something, it's been life-changing, genuinely life-changing, no matter how sad that sounds. Because I don't actually like mess. It just creeps up on me. I just suddenly realise that the room looks like an absolute hellhole. And every time I'm like, oh, when did that happen? And it's like, well, it didn't happen overnight. It happened over the course of about 3 weeks. And you noticed it, but then you didn't do anything about it because you were busy doing something else. And now it looks like you're a hoarder. You don't need to be a hoarder. You found one that looks like a ladybug. That's quality. I would have got one of those if I'd known about that. I feel bad now. I've only got a boring white one. I could have had a ladybug one. Also, I kept saying ladybug there. It's ladybird here. I don't know why it's ladybird. Because they don't look like birds, but, you know. For some reason, that felt like one of the most ridiculous things I've ever said out loud. They don't look like birds. I mean, I'm not wrong. It just seems like a silly thing to say out loud. Oh, that's... Yes. Yes. Hello, Decknell. Make one shaped like a hand grenade. I'm going to have to use it again as soon as I've stopped, because funnily enough, this is getting extremely dusty. Oh, you know what I've got tonight? You know what I've got tonight, gang? I've got several hours of Elden Ring to look forward to. Several hours of seamless co-op mod Elden Ring. And we're going to be fighting Melania again. Which I think tonight will mark our 6th hour of attempting to beat Melania. So that's going to be fun. And I'm not being sarcastic. It is going to be really fun. And I can't wait until we beat her, because I'm going to be so happy. I have yet to respec. I'm refusing to respec. I'm not doing it. I came here to Unga Bunga, and that is how she's going to die. Right? That's how she's going to die. She's going to be Unga Bunga to death, whether she likes it or not. It's all about the greatsword. And the greatsword is my favourite, and I will beat every boss with the greatsword at this point. Although actually, the crescent, is it the crescent moon axe? Or is it the sacred moon axe? Is that what it is? I forget which one what it's called. I think it's the crescent moon axe. No one uses that axe. I've never seen anyone using the crescent moon axe. And yet, I love the crescent moon axe. I don't know what it is about it. But it just feels... It just feels fast. It feels relatively quick compared to a lot of the other, like, great weapons. Oh yeah, I can't wait for the DLC. I cannot wait. I started out as the Confessor Freya, so at the moment I'm at 40 Vigour, 30 Endurance, because I wanted to wield a Great Shield and a Great Sword, and there's only one way to do that. Also, I have like the Great Jar arsenal and whatever. Like, I've got all the stuff that raises your equip load, but you know, it still takes a bit of juggling to have the Great Shield, Great Sword combo. I think I'm at 40 strength, 40 dex, 30 faith. Now that I've got to 40 dex, I'm going hard into more strength. I want 60 strength because I can't use that massive hammer yet, and I want the massive hammer. I only went so high into dex because at some point I picked up the Bloodhound Fang, and then my friend who I'm playing with gave me his Bloodhound Fang in exchange for one of the dex weapons I was carrying, so that he could have 2 of those and I could have 2 of the Bloodhound's Fangs. So that's the only reason I needed dex, so that I could do more damage with them. And dual wielding Bloodhound Fangs is hilarious. So like, it was totally worth it. But I don't actually use dex for much else because everything's just got like heavy on it. Because I'm all about the strength. I'm all about smacking. That's what I want. I want to smack things. That's what I'm here for. Although actually, you know what? I've used the what is it called? Like the Beast Claw Maul. I forget the name of it. I forget exactly what it's called. But it's the big old hammer that looks like a pair of like claws on the end, and when you smack it into the ground, it does a load of holy damage in like a cone out in front. I wish I could remember what it was called, but I used that quite a bit as well. I don't know whether that's actually any good necessarily. I just really like the look of it and the special ability, and every now and again we'll have like trouble with a field boss or something, and I will get that thing out and it just rinses stuff. The only problem is if they're resistant to holy, then it's bad times, but other than that I've had great success with that thing. Hello Coco, how you doing? Oh man, I promised the AOS reveals video today. I'm not gonna lie, gang. It might be coming tomorrow because my voice is already starting to give out. That video that I put up this morning, right? That turned out to be like half an hour long. Not too bad. I could have left some stuff in, but I just wasn't. There were bits where I went a bit low energy because it was early in the morning and my coffee had not kicked in properly. But I recorded for ages and then discovered that for some reason OBS just hadn't saved the file. So then I had to start all over again. So I basically recorded that video twice, which was already a bit rough on my voice. And now we're talking and we're streaming and my throat is starting to hurt. And I suspect that if I try and record the AOS video today and then I play Elden Ring for like 3 hours tonight, I'm going to be good for nothing tomorrow. It's going to be a no video day again, and I don't want that. I prefer to spread the 2 videos out over 2 days and actually get both of them done, rather than like thrash my voice today and then not be able to put a video out tomorrow. There's more like longevity there, I feel. I'm quite bad sometimes at just getting very excited and just recording, and then my voice is wrecked, and I'm like, oh no, I can't record for like 3 days. If I'd have just taken it easy the first time, would have been fine. Would have been okay. Not a stupid question, Magnus. No, we don't have any in the house. I should probably get some. It's weird. It comes and goes. Like sometimes I can sit there and record for hours every day, and it's not a problem. It's just fine. But then other times it just goes like super quick. It just suddenly decides, and now you're in trouble. It's like, well, what's different? What changed? I didn't do nothing different, but for some reason it just decided not having it this time round. Okay, Jesus Christ, this is so so unwieldy now. I'm loving putting this together, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to hold. Like, I'm trying to put a foot on this, and I'm having to hold it in such a weird angle, and it's like the biggest thing I've ever put together. Alright, okay, let's... I think that's... There we go. Get that nice and squished in. Oh, that's got like a perfect fit on it as well. Hello, some guy. Green tea with honey and lemon. Oh, but I don't get on with green tea. There's got to be something that's like green tea adjacent, right? I suppose just any hot drink would probably help. That'll probably help. Just like a normal cup of tea, maybe? Or is it like something specific about that that'll help? I'll tell you what nothing helps with. Chest issues. If I get a cough and it goes to my chest, or like a cold and it goes to my chest, that's it, I'm wrecked. I've got nothing for that. That's why I'm ill so often. It's literally because I got pneumonia, then like a year later... Did you know you can relapse into pneumonia, right? So you can be pneumonia free for nearly 12 months, and then suddenly you just have pneumonia again. That's what happened to me. I had pneumonia, it was really bad, and then as I was coming out of the other side of it, because it lasted for ages, and they were like, just be careful because sometimes it can come back. Like a year later, suddenly, pneumonia for a second time. That wrecked my chest. Like my lungs are in ruins now. Which made the whole COVID situation even more even more worrying, because I was like, well, if I get this, am I just going to die? Is that just going to be it for me? That's not going to be great. But luckily, I've had it twice, I think, now, and it's not done anything to me. But yeah, every now and again, I will like say in a video that I'm not very well. It's because I've caught a cough. That's literally it. That's the only reason that I'm not very well, because coughs to me are like, oh, it's the worst. It's the worst because they never go away. They just linger for literally weeks. I'll get what my wife's had, and she'll be fine in like 2 days. I, however, will be wrecked for close to a month. Gets old. Gets real old. Oh, what? Caffeine dries out your vocal cords? I had no idea that was a thing. So actually, drinking a coffee before I recorded this morning might be the contributing factor. If I hadn't had a coffee, if I'd had a decaf tea, then I might have been setting myself up a bit better for the rest of the day. Does that mean I've got to stop drinking? Yeah, I was going to say stop drinking coffee in the morning, but I could have decaf. But then I don't know that I drink coffee for the taste. If I'm being totally honest, I don't know that I don't know that I drink it for the taste. I suspect I drink it because it gives me a little boost, which is not a healthy reason to do anything really, but this is not Seraphon Prep, although it could well be. This is a Tarrasque Weekly. Hot tea or hot Ribena? Oh, hot Ribena though. Okay, jasmine tea we do have. We actually have that in the house. I should try that. Hot Ribena sounds like an invention of the devil. I just don't like the idea of that. Oh, hot Ribena is really like it's hitting me in waves. That I can't imagine liking that, but I'm willing to give it a try. You know, I'll make a sacrifice for the cause of not losing my voice. It's very hard to record videos when you've got no voice. I've just realised something. At some point. Oh no, it is going. That's fine. Oh, did you get done for mentioning the Rona? That's weird, Catus. I don't know why that's happened. I just want to say, I have not tried to censor the word COVID, alright? It's not like you can't mention it on the channel. I don't know why. Like, if your comments disappeared, I don't know why. I don't know why. Hot toddy? I can't read or hear hot toddy without thinking of... I don't know how many of you listen to the Off Menu podcast, but Paul Chowdhury's episode of the Off Menu podcast is one of my absolute favourite bits of, like, podcast comedy. What an absolute maniac. He loves a hot toddy. Paul Chowdhury absolutely loves a hot toddy. It's a no word on Twitch as well. That's really weird. Why though? Why can't you just mention it? Why can't you just say the word? I'm not gonna. I don't care if people want to mention COVID. What's got to do? Oh no, I might. Okay, I haven't been banned. I've not been banned. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine though? If I said I don't care if you mention COVID, and then the stream goes offline. Can you imagine? It would be very funny. I wouldn't even be mad. Like the comedy value for me, it would be worth it. What am I doing this wrong? Oh, I was trying to put this. No, I wasn't. Okay, so Jesus, this is unwieldy now. I can't even, like, just... God's sake. Turns out there's downsides to building models that are this large. It's very difficult to manoeuvre them. I've not actually checked out the new AOS stuff yet, Simon. I've not looked at it yet. I was planning to do that this afternoon, but my voice is starting to go a bit, so it's going to be tomorrow morning is when I'm going to do that video now. But I'm excited. Like, I'm excited to look at the AOS stuff because genuinely, I've had more fun with AOS in the last couple of years than I have with 40k. I've mentioned it in videos before, but like, I don't have a huge amount of time to play. Like, I know I talk about the different systems a lot, but I don't have a huge amount of time to play, and it felt like it was getting to the stage with 40k where there's just so much to learn that I didn't even know where to start, and every time I felt like I was getting caught up, something changed. I don't necessarily think that AOS is that different in terms of, like, rate of releases or new units or whatever, but the game itself I've just found a lot more approachable. As someone who is a complete casual, like, I've never made any claim to being good or in it to win it or a pro or even mildly competent. Like, I only play to have fun. If I win, cool, awesome. If I don't win, I mean, as long as it was fun, I don't really care. And it's felt increasingly like I've just not been able to enjoy 40k as much as I used to. But I was still getting what I used to get from 40k from AOS. It just felt, I don't know, more approachable. Easier, simpler to play, but still as fun as it used to be. So the changes now for 10th edition have got me super excited because it looks like it's going to be more approachable. There's going to be less bookkeeping. There's going to be less in the way of trying to memorize a bajillion and one goddamn stratagems, and slimming it all down is exactly what I want as a casual player who builds armies for, I build armies around a theme. I don't build them around what's good necessarily. I build them around what's fun. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new version of 40k. But at the same time, AOS has got some incredible armies and some incredible designs, and like it's like the new love AOS, and the new Seraphon stuff looks super good. Like the bits that I've seen look really good. I just haven't checked out the stuff from yesterday yet. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to like pretty much all of it, because yeah, what they've done so far in terms of updating that range, I've loved it. I've loved it to the point where I'm really considering starting Seraphon. Okay, then that goes on there. Oh yes. Oh, this is looking like this is looking like a good chunky lad. I'm liking this a lot. Yeah, I've been set free, Andre. I've been set free. Necromunda. I love the models for Necromunda, but I don't even know where to start with, like, the rules. It feels like there's like 18 books now. I don't even know what I'm looking at. It's like, what do I need to start playing this game? Yes. Oh, well, cool. Anything more specific? Well, you'll need the core book, you'll need this expansion, you'll need this expansion for this gang, you also need this expansion for these rules. If you want to use this bounty hunter, you'll need this. If you want to use that, you'll need the other thing. It seems borderline impenetrable, but I don't know whether that's just an incorrect feeling I've got, like, looking at it from afar. So I don't know whether that's accurate or whether that's just how it comes across to someone who loves the minis but has never actually got round to trying the game itself out. Okay, here's the deal, gang. Here's the deal. We're going to finish this guy. We're going to put his horns on. We're going to put his feet on his little comedy base, which I'm going to put him on an actual base because I want to make something cool and scenic. Then I'm probably going to stop because I'm very aware that my throat is starting to hurt even more now. But I'm being enthusiastic and I'm having fun, so I'm just going with it. I'm keeping hydrated as well. This was full, like, just before we started. I did gulp a lot of it, admittedly, before we started, but that's because I had a dry throat. No, my dodgy super glue seal didn't work up there. That's fine. It's all gonna get, like, liquid green stuffed over. Top tip, gang. If you want to make horrible stretched skin over stuff, liquid green stuff. Liquid green stuff is the way to go. Liquid green stuff is it's brilliant for that. Oh, you get it, like, it just looks like skin. Grown, stretched over. Get little lines.
Found about you through Ad Rick when you were first guest on it.
Love it.
Love your content. Your voice is nice to listen to even if you talk kind of fast. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, Sandru. I'm glad you enjoy the kind of guest appearances on Adept is Ridiculous. I really love doing those. They're really fun. And I apologise for the rapid fire the rapid fire talking. I got better at that for a while. I got better at not blasting words out at 1,000 a second, but I've kind of regressed somewhat. Hello, JR. Okay, we're nearly there. We are nearly there. Liquid green stuff. I'm telling you, Coco, if you want to make stretched skin, or you want to make it look like things are growing out of other things, liquid green stuff is the way to go. I use so much of it in the building of the Cosmic Horror Mega Gargants up there. I got through like 2 pots of that stuff. No, 3 pots. Because every time I wanted to make stretched skin that was growing out of something living across like stone or metal. I just brushed liquid green stuff on in layers until it got the right consistency for kind of stretchy growing skin. Which I'm fully aware of how gross that sounds, but you know what? When you're making Cosmic Horror Mega Gargants and your main goal is to put the army on the table and have other people look at it and go, "What the hell is that?" You've just got to go for it. Let me grab this lad here. Okay, come here. There we go. So hopefully you can see there, like where you've got that kind of ripple stretching effect going from the body up to this bit of stonework. My big chunky lad is getting in the way. So yeah, where you can see it goes from flesh up to the stone and then is just the stone itself. That joint, that's all liquid green stuff that's just been brushed on. Same for here. I used a bit of texture paint to make cracks in the skin and the flesh. Like just there. And then I did liquid green stuff over the top so that it then stretched up and onto the stonework. And it's the same thing there, it's all over this. Like a lot of the skin is liquid green stuff on this. I did the same thing for blending these in. There were big gaps between that section and the leg. And what I did there was just brush a load of liquid green stuff onto the top of the leg and then stretch it up and hook it onto this section, because they're not supposed to go together. They're like two different ends of this kit. Yeah, all of the stretched skin on this, there, all the way up there, across the legs, down the legs there, around the back, along the side, that's all just liquid green stuff. It's great. It's such a good material. Hello, Paints on the 4-Up. Sitting in the library, you're meant to be writing a 4,000-word essay. Oh, Lord. Yes, I think I've got 2 range reviews that I need to finish editing and put out. I got behind on them. But yeah, they're not gone. And they're expanding out into STL stuff as well. Because I follow a few STL patrons now. Patreons, sorry. So yeah, it is coming back, that series. I just need to finish editing them, but I'm trying to make it more fancy. So the oldest mini on my shelf, you know what, the answer to that is a bit of a cop-out because it's not on my shelf anymore. The oldest mini on my shelf until about a week ago was a second edition Chaos Dreadnought, the old metal one that you could beat people to death with because it was so heavy, with the big like spindly claw on one arm, really like hunched up. It's not technically on the shelf. It's over there in a storage box, like wrapped in foam, because I needed more shelf space. So, but that's technically the oldest that I've got around here. Although, actually, is that true? Yeah, no, I think that is true. Yeah. I mean, equivalent oldest, kind of, or at least bought around the same time. I've got this lad. The first lad I painted. I keep him on my painting desk at all times, so that every time I think to myself, "You suck. What have you done?" I can look at this and go, yeah, but you know, you've gotten better. I've got an old metal Gazgul in that same in that same box, actually, thinking about it. You know what, I've got quite a bit of old stuff in that box. 3rd edition Terminators, Chaos Terminators. The metal ones. They're in there as well. Got a fair bit lying around, really. Okay, you can go like that. There's just a little bit here that I need to get off. This is going to be a pain to get on. I realise it's not something that everyone is going to have access to, their first painted miniature, because plenty of people have thrown them out, or moved, or they got lost, or they've been sold, or they've been given away, or whatever. But I wholeheartedly recommend, if you've got a miniature that you painted years ago and you know you've drastically improved since then, keep that miniature on your desk. Keep it where you can see it, and that way, when you start to think yourself, I've made no progress, I'm bad at painting, you can just look at it and go, that's not true, is it? You clearly have. You're clearly better than you used to be. What are you talking about? It's a good little motivator for those of us who find ourselves doubting our abilities. Obviously, doubting yourself isn't that bad because it can sometimes give you a reason to improve. But you know, if you're ever starting to get too doubtful of yourself, it's always good to have something there that can kind of remind you of what you're doing. Hello, Chris. How you doing, man? I haven't seen that Midwinter Minis video, Magnus. I'll have to have a look. Oh, something else I keep up here. Something else I keep on my desk is this guy. Because this was one of my first attempts to do like non-metallic metal and OSL, and it didn't go particularly well. Like it's very cartoony. It's extremely over the top. But I looked at that and I was like, I want to do something like that that's better. And that was the first attempt at doing it. And then this is like the second attempt. And the second attempt is way better. So I just like keeping stuff where I've tried something new. I keep that on my desk as like reference, as like, okay, you have tried to do something like this before, this is what you did, you can compare it directly, you can look at what you've already done, and if you notice things that you don't like, you know to try and avoid doing those in future. First mini is one of the Battle for Skull pastels, dry brushed in metal and with crimson lining. Yeah, you do stuff when you first start painting, you're like, yeah, I'll just, this will be fine. Especially if you started painting years and years ago, like I did. Like, I think one of the main reasons that I hated painting for so long is because there's no such thing as Midwinter Minis, or Miniac, or Squidmar, or Ninjon, or Goobertown Hobbies, or like Chris, like in the chat right now, like Chris is an incredible painter, and he will show you how to do things. That wasn't a thing when I started painting. That just didn't exist. There was no resource for that. Just figure it out. There you go. Here's some paints. This is what the picture looks like. Off you go. Okay, cool. I can't do that. Brilliant. Where do I go now? Well, I'm afraid that's just how it is. Like, it's so much better now. It's so much better. Like, it's really nice when I talk to people who want to start painting now, because I can just say, okay, here is a list of videos that you should watch, and when you watch them, you will come away with like the equivalent to what took me about a decade to find out. It's crazy now. It's so much better. And that's not to like complain about like not having the best teachers or whatever when you start out painting, because it's just different. It's just a different time, like literally just a different time. But it's nice to keep things around and not repaint stuff, so that you can look at them and go, okay, this is how I've improved. I know I've improved in this, that, and the other. It makes a big difference. Like, oh, what was that I was doing the other day? I finished painting something the other day, and oh no, I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was a cloak. So... where's the other one? Where's she gone? There we go. So for a long time, and this is going to look so bad, for a long time, I thought this was like the best cloak that I'd ever painted. Like the best cloth. It's like, oh, this is great cloth. It's so good. I'm so happy with it. In fact, hang on, let me see if we can zoom in a little bit. Where are you? Where are you, paint cam? There we go. Let's just zoom in just a tiny bit, just a little bit. That's okay, that's as close as you want to go, that's fine. So for the longest time, that was like the best cloth I'd ever done. I was so happy with that cloth. It's like, yeah, it looks like cloth. It's not just black. It's not just red. There's different shades in there. Really, all I did was just paint it one shade of red and then give it a little bit of like null over the top. And that was it. But that was like the best cloak I'd ever done. And then a while ago, I did that cloak, and I was like, I think that I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with it, but it doesn't feel like it's actually. It's okay. It's okay. I actually don't. Maybe it's not that good. Maybe that's not that good. But then I got this model out, and and I looked at the difference, and I went, oh yeah. Oh, okay. No, you're good. You're good. You're alright. You have improved. It's fine. Like, it just happens. Sometimes it just happens. You just think to yourself, I haven't done a good job of this. But then you look at what you used to be able to do, and like what your previous best was, and you go, I'm clearly just talking nonsense to myself because this is actually fine. Thank you very much for the super chat, Bentley. Oh, I'm not used to there not being a message attached to them. I'm not used to it. Okay, where are we at now? We've got any more pieces? We haven't got any more pieces. This is it, gang. This is it. We're there. We have achieved. So, this big old chunky boy right here. Oh my god, it's so hilariously big. Look at the size of it. He should go in there, but I think I might have a bit of clearing up to do. Ooh, that's a bad join there. Can you see that? Ooh. Yeah, no. Have we got anything in there that's causing... Okay, there we go. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. It's so ridiculous. It's knocking stuff over that's like on the other end of the desk because I deliberately got it out of the way before I started doing this. Yeah, I was super happy with that one, that cloak. I seem to remember, like, at the time I kept asking whether I should do different things to it, or maybe it wasn't that one. But either way, the point still stands. I did a bit of cloth work, and then I looked at it and I was like, well, that's And whether it was after the fact or whether it was during the process doesn't really matter. It's still the same thing. It's still like that moment of doubt and thinking, did I do a good job on this, or have I even improved at all? And yeah, of course you have. Everyone does. Same thing for any sort of creative thing, really. Whether it's minis or drawing or playing an instrument. Oh Lord, there was a lot of plastic dust there. Right. Okay, we're on it. This is the time. The time is now. The time is now, and I don't know the best way to do this. Okay. He's going to take a bit of finishing, obviously, but overall, the big chunk, the extremely big chunk is moments away from completion. Moments away. Literally moments away. I think it went there. And there's all of that as well. That's already cleaned up, so that's fine. Did his foot rest on like the back of this? I can't really remember. Oh, we'll just get around that by putting it on that bit itself. And a bit on there. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So that's like, ah, it's so goddamn, it's so unwieldy. Right, let's don't want to knock the blue over. Oh, there we go. No, no. Get in there. Get in there. There's still a bit up the top on that side. That's sinking the gap. Nope. Missed it. There's going to be a bit of filling that needs to be done here, but overall, oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, I was so happy with that Xeno Dragon. I was so happy with it. It actually did. It went the way I wanted. It actually went the way I wanted. I'm still super happy with that Xeno Dragon. I still need to finish the base on it though. Oh, how long ago was that video? It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. We'll get around to it eventually. Okay. Oh, you can see my hand shaking. I'm pressing down too hard. Right. I think we are. I think we're there. I think we're there. Okay. So. Oh, he's nearly on, but not quite. You know what? That's getting the super glue treatment. That's getting the super glue treatment. It's going to be a mix. Press. This is the Tarrasque by Archon Studio, Daniel. It's massive. Oh god, it's got like, oh wow. Where am I going to put this? There's no space on any shelf for this. So I've got no space for this thing at all. Although now I'm thinking actually those wings are just about the right height to make this really scary. Wings are about the right size. Okay, it's not quite Hierophant sized, it's just like stupidly chunky, but not as stupidly chunky. Right. And there we go. There is the lad. There he is. What an absolute beast. What an animal. You know what? Would an Imperial Knight base fit this? Oh, wow. No. No is the answer. I was thinking, what if we could put him on? Oh, it's not quite big enough. It is not quite big enough. Have I got... Let me just check something. I feel like I have somewhere... I'm talking away from the microphone. Terrible. Somewhere, I reckon I've got one of those one of those like gigantic bases that GW do. Let me just check. I'm going over to the box of delight. box of delight where I keep all the other stuff that I sometimes think I might use but I'm not sure about. Here we go, like this, I don't think this one, that's not Mega Gargant sized. No, it's not. It's not Mega Gargant sized. I reckon. Oh, mind you, but it's not as long. It's not as long. Huh. If I want to put a base on this, it's gonna have to be. I might have to double base it. I might have to do what I've done before, which is like build a custom base out of 2 bases. So, Knight base is too small, but if I take 2 Knight bases, right, and they go like that, then we take plasticard, and then we cut a section that goes over the top. Then it could have a full base. What? Oh dear. I've just realised we never zoomed out again. What an idiot. Okay, there we go. So actually, he's smaller than he might be smaller than he looked because I was still zoomed in from the thing. Or do I just need to get like a custom MDF base made? Because I mean, it doesn't come with a base, right? It just sits like that. But I want this thing to have like, I want there to be scenic stuff going on. You know, I want cool stuff going on. I mean, he deserves a bit of cool stuff going on. What have I got to show scale? Well, I've got that dwarf. We need a 40k lad again, don't we? Here we go. So, Tiburos the Red Wake conversion for scale. Like, it's pretty chunky. Pretty chunky. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, won't it? Quite the big lad is he? What the hell? Where am I gonna put this? That's really the question of the day, isn't it? That's the question of the day. You know what I've just remembered we could also do on the streams next week? Talking of weird, creepy stuff, I need to paint these so that the party can fight them. We need to paint these on the stream. We need to paint these on the stream. I've got 3 little ones and 2 big ones. That'll be fun. That'll be a fun thing to paint. Anyway. So, the big lad is technically assembled. The next steps are fill in the gaps, which there are a few. It's actually not too bad. For the size of this, it's not too bad. I wouldn't choose any Chaos Faction Sebastian. I would off myself. In fact, that just stands for finding myself in 40k in general. You are teleported to Warhammer 40k. You have nothing but a las pistol and 18 days of rations. Okay, well that means I can shoot myself in the face. Awesome. Yeah, so I need to fill the gaps. I'll do that off camera because that's not going to be interesting. It's just going to be annoying. And then we can start like horroring this thing up. We can start making this really gnarly and really creepy. I'm thinking we get the tattered wings sprouting out the top. I've got a box of zombies back there, so I might have like dead and like decaying bodies like trying to push themselves out of the skin, so we can like attach them, and then we can use the liquid green stuff to kind of sculpt skin in, so they're like pushing out of the body of it. I'm gonna nick something I did from my Tyranids, and I'm gonna pull an Annihilation, and I'm going to put a bunch of skulls sprouting out of the side of his face. suddenly got very loud. Yeah, I've got plans. I've got plans for this lad. He's already massive. He's going to be absolutely terrifying as well. The fact that, I mean, this is like the biggest base that GW do. The fact that I can't fit it on there is pretty funny. I think it's the biggest base they do. I'm pretty sure, anyway. Either way, the fact that I can't fit it on there is, whilst frustrating, also pretty funny. I mean, I guess technically 1 foot could just be hanging off, but no, we'll work something out. Yeah, this track is way louder than the rest, and I need to fix that. I think it's because I actually produced that in software, as opposed to just recording the guitar and then saving it. But yeah, I might get rid of this out of the playlist actually, because the volume jump is significant. I'm pretty happy with this lad. I'm pretty happy with him. He is a monster. He's gigantic. He's fantastic. Went together pretty well. Yeah, all in all, pretty good. Nice work. Nice work, Archon. You've done good. You've done good with the Tarrasque. I'm happy with the Tarrasque. I've done lots of dragons, but the Tarrasque is definitely a highlight. And let me just do one quick check before we say goodbye. So that's Thal the Defiler. Already a pretty big model. Yep, I've just dropped a load of basic material all over it again, but that's fine. I'll hoover it up in a second. Those wings, like those wings, they're going to work super well on this. They're going to work really well. And in fact, the way the wings are done, they're like a good long stretch down. Oh, he's gonna look awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's going to be grand. Plan is, we're going to do this again tomorrow. This went on longer than I thought it would, but that's fine. It was a test. It was a successful test. It all went well. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Liam, for... Oh, you know what? Wait. Before we go. This is going to be tricky, because I've never done this before, right? I've never done this before. There is a way to send people over to somebody else, and I want to know how to do that. I want to know how to do it so we can go over and say hello to Liam, because I'm pretty sure Liam will still be streaming. Oh, he's not going to fly with them. No, don't worry. No, he's not going to fly. He's not going to fly. It's a Cthulhu situation. Little tiny wings, right? Little tiny wings that don't really do anything, but he does look scary. Like that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going to do. He doesn't need to fly anywhere. Okay. There is a way to redirect to other people because Mikey did it earlier. But I can't, to me. But I don't know how he did it. I should have asked. I should have asked him how he does that. Instead of just like flailing around maniacally as the stream's supposed to end. Oh, this makes sense. It's probably this. It's probably this thing that I've just found that really makes a lot of sense. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe it's not that. Who knows? Look, we're probably going to stop now, because all I'm doing now is looking at other things that is nothing to do with the actual stream. It says test in the title, so it's fine. That's how that works, right? As long as it says test, as long as it says it, it's fine. It's not a problem. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everyone. do go over to Liam Dempsey's channel. That's the way we're going to do it, because I don't know how to do it, because I'm not very good at streaming. I'm going to put it in the chat, in fact. And you can go over there, because I don't know how to do it properly. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be freaking this guy up good and proper. Thank you to everyone who joined and super chatted and became members, and I will see you for the next one. Have a good rest of the day.